There.
Okay, Mary, nice job. That's the way to do it, guys. Right hand. Okay, now let's put the that hook to your head's working real well for you. Look at me. See? Hey, now, hook the head and back to the body. Okay? Let's concentrate a little more.
You see right here, you see Pacquiao throwing his right hook.
Boom!
Can't normally do when he's fighting the stand-up right-handed fighter, and he seems to love it. That's been his pet punch so far most of the fight. I was watching him, he's looking past Freddie Roach, who was giving instructions, looking at the replay in the arena.
Admiring his work.
Yeah.
Brings a whole new meaning to the old boxing phrase, admiring your work.
You know, normally as a fighter, Pacquiao is known for that powerful straight left, you know, jab with his right hand, a hard straight left. And he's changing up. He's got a guy that he can do everything with now because it's a right, the left over left hand, and he's doing it too.
Harold, how do you have it through three? Look at you, 3 rounds to nothing, 30-26, Manny Pacquiao. Jim, I can't remember a southpaw who can throw 4 or 5 right hands before he pulls his right hand back. Incredible. He throws a hook, a jab, an uppercut, and finally he'll pull his right hand back. It's amazing. I mean, Dwight Jones used to do it with a left hand, but this kid is amazing with that right hand. 3-0 Pacquiao. Give him an extra point in round 2 where he hit Diaz with everything but the stool and the referee. The early evidence on Pacquiao moving up to lightweight. See, maybe he's finally found a weight class where he can be really good.
And he seems to be enjoying it. I think he needs to fight more southpaws, so he enjoys it.
And Big Dracula calls a halt to the action so that David Diaz's nose cut can be examined.
And I think it's eye cut now. A little bit more serious.
This was one of the possibilities, and because of his blinding speed and major advantages when at distance, Pacquiao would be able to cut Diaz up. And Diaz's only response is to get more aggressive and try to do more damage, and that's what he's trying to do, leaving himself open for Pacquiao's assault.
Speed is just too much. And the fact that Pacquiao is doing everything and moving and twisting and pivoting and turning all while he's punching.
A southpaw Jack Dempsey in the lightweight division. A non-stop aggressor with speed and power beyond compare.
Just the whole body rhythm and coordination of Diaz is just too slow.
And a cut now above the right eye of Diaz. As you said, Emmanuel, so he's bleeding from the nose, and he's bleeding from above the right eye, and he's getting hit flush with a lot of Pacquiao shots. No matter how hard Diaz works to cover up against these onslaughts, Manny Pacquiao is simply too fast and too good. Perfect shot by Pacquiao. Diaz shakes his head as if to say to the referee, I'm okay. I know I just got hit with a howitzer, but I'm still here. They throw at the same time. The difference in hand speed is so evident.
The hand speed as well as the foot speed like that. Diaz, not only a hand speed, but he just can't do it all the twisting and pivoting that that Pacquiao putting into the fight also.
Diaz's left eye is beginning to swell. We're told that the cut to the right eye was caused by a headbutt. So we'll take a look at it between rounds.
Hey, your last 30 seconds, you did what you're supposed to do. Once you get in close, you got to get your head under his chest and keep moving forward. You've got to get your head under his chest and keep moving forward. Your last 30 seconds, you did that. You won't get hit past as much then. But you stand.
Here we see what possibly could have been the cause of the butt, which was a headbutt right there.
Well, that created the big cut over the right eye. But it's a moot point whether the cut is created by a butt or a punch at this point because it's a violent onslaught that Pacquiao is mounting in every round. Power shots through the 4th round. Diaz has landed 30 out of 141. Pacquiao has landed 80 of 255. He's averaging 64 power punches thrown per round. There's no way you're going to beat him if he's getting off that many shots. It is a brilliant and stunningly effective performance by Pacquiao so far.
And Diaz has been seriously behind because, you know, being that he's not a devastating one-punch knockout fighter, once you get behind on points like this, it's going to be very reluctant to pull this fight out. You know, even because Pacquiao just a little too fast, a little too sharp, and steadily moving and twisting and turning, punching, going in and out. And Diaz just, in his footwork, he's just too clumsy and slow and stiff.
Two good body shots there by the determined and gutty David Diaz. He's demonstrating that as far as attitude is concerned, he won't take no for an answer. Hard right hand by Pacquiao. Uppercut stuns Diaz again. Pacquiao's ability to put his punches together with blinding speed is amazing. Leading with hooks, crosses, and uppercuts. Pacquiao more or less dispensing with the jab because he doesn't really need to set anything up.
No, he doesn't. He just really pretty much just having target practice right now for the most part.
Left hand pops out across.
Oh!
Two quick right hands inside. Another uppercut. And Diaz, in the face of all that, comes forward.
Look at his eye. Come on.
The bloody mask speaks for itself.
It's very interesting after Pacquiao's always been known as the puncher, now to see him being a really technical, fastest, all-around boxer fighter is really a thing of beauty because I never expected him to look this good from his boxing in this fight, even though I thought he would lose more than not to do the things that he's doing.
And incidentally, in case you're really paying attention to Manny Pacquiao for the first time and you're looking at the possible fights ahead, how good is Juan Manuel Marquez of Mexico? Well, consider this. In two fights against Pacquiao, Marquez has won more rounds than Pacquiao has won. That's how good he is. If it weren't for the 4 knockdowns that Pacquiao has applied to Marquez, Marquez would have won both fights. Now Diaz gets a couple of answers in there. What guts! What determination by David Diaz! Hard left hand by Diaz momentarily stops the Pacquiao assault. Stars and stripes are bloody, but unbound.
You're doing better that round, but you're not staying low enough. And when you're in, you're not punching up. You're punching around, hitting the arms and the elbows, right? Right. The elbows way a little bit. Where you need. So, stay lower, try to punch in tighter, not wide. And if once you're in, you keep pressing his chest with your head, he's going to back up, and he won't punch near as much on his heels. Right. Then you'll be able to punch.
Deep breath. Come on, son. Take a deep breath.
Oh boy. When he's going under, lift him up.
Power shots in round 5. Diaz 7 out of 45. Manny Pacquiao 27 out of 56. Daniel Stewart, the layman, not all that familiar with boxing, would look at Diaz's face and say, how can he be allowed to continue under these circumstances?
Yeah, because he is a world champion, and they do stop it between rounds, and I was a little bit kind of disappointed. I thought that they would have coagulated a lot better than it has at this stage, but it seems as soon as the bell rings, it goes out and starts bleeding, they didn't put anything on it.
Well, Jim Strickland's got a lot on his hands, trying to stop 2 bad cuts and try to talk his fighters through the fight at the same time.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. You know, normally when he's just a cut man, it's different because he concentrates entirely on the cut. But he's trying to talk all the way through the fight. I think Jim is actually a pharmacist by trade, too.
blows momentarily in round 6. They trade jabs to the center of the ring. Again, the dramatic hand speed advantage for Pacquiao, quite visible. Despite everything he's taken, David Diaz still willing to lunge forward, looking to land one shot. He's not exactly a power puncher either. Right. Watch ahead. Watch ahead. Go. No way Diaz will quit. He's totally willing to go out on his shield. So that puts pressure on the referee and medical authorities to be sure that they protect him in the right way.
As you can see, Pacquiao is really concentrating on dropping those shots right on that eye to him. He's having a tremendous left cross right on the eye, and he seems like loads up trying to let power punches now.
Pacquiao is not a sadist. He's a sportsman at heart, but he will do what has to be done, which is to continue to go after the damage he's already done to David Diaz. Diaz has to be earning the respect of the crowd as he continues to fire resolutely in round 6. And the Pacquiao storm once again continues. A tsunami, a hurricane, a tornado. Incomparable ring violence for this era in boxing.
The cut seems to be a big factor in this thing. You know, actually,
ring doctor says he's okay. I'm sure that Diaz would agree. When he beat Eric Morales last year, he did it with his right eye swollen up like a tennis ball, completely shut.
if one eye is swelling and the other one is bleeding, and they haven't seemingly stopped the flow of blood, and as soon as the bell rings, it starts bleeding right away again. It's a big factor in this fight.
Halfway through, they touch gloves in sportsmanlike appreciation for each other.
The closer you get, the more effective you'll be. You still got to throw shorter punches and then tight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute, let it go now right now. Let me get here. I got to stop this punch.
He's not his punches, he's just too fast.
Right. Here. There.
I know.
Here we see Pacquiao.
Boom!
Such a volume, and they're all coming from different angles. He's mixing up, and that's why it's so hard for Diaz to stop the punches, because he's not just doing one.
Oh my
punch.
goodness!
The speed and the variety of punches is just too much for him.
Well, a perfect line of expert commentary there between rounds by Diaz. Close. I can handle his punches. He's just too fast. That's the story of what's happened so far. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
6-0, 60 to 53, maybe Pacquiao. Maybe I'm being a little bit more generous than I should be. I think there's a lot more 10-8 rounds mixed in there somewhere. But Diaz and Benjamin, I gotta point this out. He's cut over the right eye. Initially, that cut was caused by an accidental headbutt. If this fight gets stopped, that cut is being made worse by legal blows. If the fight gets stopped, because we're beyond the 4th round, they'll go to the scorecards to determine the winner. But certainly, Pacquiao is way ahead on the scorecards.
Normally we look at Pacquiao as such a power puncher. Now he's a threat you take as a boxer in this fight.
Let me just reinterpret what Harold said. What you're saying, Harold, is they can't win the fight strictly because of that cut, because he didn't cause it with a punch.
It'll go to the scorecards, he'll win. He can't win it on a TKO.
That's correct.
Whichever way it goes, he will win this fight unless they end up with another disqualification.
Look at the combination. There's a degree that boxing can be a demonstration of supreme violence mixed with artistic brilliance. That's what Manny Pacquiao is providing tonight.
Diaz keeps plugging away. He wasn't as fast as Doug in 1996 either. He somehow got that done. He wasn't as fast as Armando Santa Cruz 2 summers ago in Chicago. He somehow got that done. His career will never be compared to that of the great Eric Morales, but he somehow got that done. So don't tell David Diaz he doesn't have a chance.
Oh, no.
He doesn't believe you.
Wait, watch out.
And incidentally, lest you think that Pacquiao may have no other talents besides what he shows you in the ring, he's currently enrolled in college courses back in the Philippines. When he goes to class to sit in a college classroom, 5 armed bodyguards have to wait outside the building.
Once he says, well, even in class, he says, no time to an autograph, that he goes doing homework, so it's studying.
The teachers, like the students, scream and shout when he comes into the room and asks to have their picture taken with him.
When you're in close, your left hook is open for you to the body. But you don't want to throw anything wide, like I told you, all right? You've got to try to keep your head below here.
Right.
Once you understand, you got to push him back with your head.
So when you feint him, he goes under. Feint him, look at the uppercut. All right? When you feint him, just like in the gym.
Timing. Huwag magbuhos. Timing tayo, okay? Timing.
Don't get tangled up in the inside with him. Use your feet.
The way for a slower fighter to deal with speed is to try to interrupt the action and make the faster fighter fight when he doesn't want to. There hasn't been a moment in this fight when Manny Pacquiao didn't want to assault David Diaz. So it's very difficult for Diaz to find any moment at which to make a statement. He's gotten in some body punches, but mostly he's taken big shots.
As he said, when he told Strickland about 2 rounds back, he just getting on his feet. And I think that's a good way to sum it up. It's too much of speed.
Well, we wondered if Pacquiao would look any slower at 135 pounds than he did at 126 and 130. And Emmanuel, I think the early returns may be made a little bit more dramatic because of the absence of speed from the opponent. Because if anything, he looks faster.
He looks faster, more natural, looks stronger. All the way down, much more devastating. Soon as this fight's going to have to stop pretty soon. The referee's going to have to stop the fight.
Diaz gets in a good left uppercut of his own. Fires a straight jab, comes forward to make clear, I'm still a fighter, I'm not going to go away. But at this point, you worry about how badly is David Diaz going to get hurt by continuing to take punishment in a fight where he's not going to go down, not going to get knocked out. He blocks a lot of those shots. Sometimes the knockout is a merciful event.
Yeah, because right now, even with Diaz throws punches, there's no power. He just pushing and stumbling and falling in. So there's no power. So it's just a matter of time before he gets knocked out, unless the referee ought to tell us how to fight.
And if the kind of mercy that puts you on your back is not going to take place, then it's up to the referee and the medical supervisors at ringside to deliver mercy on their own.
Yeah, I think the referee's getting in position to stop the fight. I mean, he's looking entirely strictly at his eye in the face. He's getting in a position where his mind is functioning on stopping the fight now.
Increasingly on the defensive, Diaz has less and less to offer as the 8th round goes on. The crowd has gotten its money's worth. The crowd has seen the show they wanted to see. Manny Pacquiao has made his statement. There isn't much reason beyond a few moments like that for this to keep going forward.
Oh!
If ever you things got bad, an opponent would be too brave for his own good. You knew it tonight.
Yeah, I think the corner should stop the fight. It would be a graceful way to end it, but it's over for all practical.
Time.
I'm good, man. I can still see.
Let me hear this. Close your eyes. You can't punch from outside now, you hear me? Keep your hands beside your chin until you work your way in that way. Let him hit the glove. But if you try to punch from outside, you punch him.
So, yes, that's what they're talking about.
The referee.
You got to pick it up. Move your eyes.
You do that, Diaz, real nice.
In and out, in and out.
Box numbers show that from the 5th round on, David Diaz's punch output has been dropping. 65 punches thrown in the 5th, 57 in the 6th, 50 in the 7th, only 38 in the 8th. Surely a serious consideration must now be given to stopping the fight in the 9th if things continue the way they've been. I guess, given the accepted traditional ethic in the sport manual, if this were Pacquiao's title belt instead of Diaz's, it would have been stopped before now.
It probably would have. You know, because Diaz is going to keep cutting it all night long as he let it. But even when he punches, he's ineffective. He's not a knockout puncher, so he's not going to follow the perform a one-punch miracle. Just how much more punch damage can he take before the fight eventually ends?
He's had his moment in the sun. He's got an $800,000 guarantee. And the chance for pay-per-view benefits if the buy rate rises above a certain level. He got a lot of publicity before the fight saying, I'm driving a 1991 Honda with no air conditioning. He's going to get a chance to buy a new car.
But he might end up with $1 million for this fight, so which is a good paycheck. And he did a good job. He's just not talented enough to compete on this level with the top fighters.
But he's brave enough to compete on any level. And he's proven that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We saw him getting off balance a bit. Uh-oh. Oh!
Tremendous straight left-hand shot for Pacquiao.
It's over.
Diaz falls into his arms. If the idea here is that there's some honor in allowing David Diaz to finish the fight, that would be a very misplaced instinct.
It's just not worth it.
There's plenty of honor for Diaz tonight. It won't be in some way embellished by letting him go to a bloodier, more brutal finish.
Oh!
How many more?
Oh! Wow! Wow!
He should have never got to that.
It's over! It's over! Wow! And I cry!
Manny Pacquiao was sensational tonight. He put on a clinic and it proved that he was much more than just a power puncher.
A flame of pure fire.
He did it all.
Incomparable in the sport. There's only one. Portrait of a superstar, Manny Pacquiao in bold relief. Floyd Mayweather retired from the sport a few weeks ago. It is expected that Oscar De La Hoya is going to retire by the end of this year. Where does the spotlight go? Right here.
Here you see Pacquiao land a beautiful
Boom.
shot right over the shoulder. Diaz never even saw the punch.
Jab.
Boom!
Left hand. Good night. Merciful. Finally, the merciful knockout we were talking about.
Yes, it was. First phase.
Right on the chin. Through 8 rounds, the 3 judges' scores were 80-71, 80-72, 80-71, totally academic. It was a bloodletting from about the 2nd round on. And if the question was, how good could Pacquiao look in his first fight as a lightweight, the answer is better than you might have believed. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we give the official time, a round of applause for a young man from Chicago with the heart of a lion, an Olympian and a world champion, David Diaz. Referee Vic Draculich calls a halt to this bout at 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Round number 9, the winner by knockout victory, the fighting pride of the Philippines. Now,
No pride.
four-time world champion and new WBC lightweight champion of the world, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
Now a few box numbers in this brilliant display. Pacquiao landing 140 more punches, throwing 325 more punches, landing at a highly efficient 30% despite a tight guard by Diaz, who kept his gloves up around his head for as long as he could.
But the problem was he was throwing so many different punches from so many different angles, so it was almost impossible for Diaz to protect himself.
Power punch numbers, Pacquiao landing 121 more, throwing 171 more, landing 37% of his power punches. Against some opponents, he'll do better than that. And joining us now at ringside, the new lightweight champion of the world. Manny, congratulations on a brilliant show in your first appearance at 135.
Thank you very much, and to all the people who's here tonight, so thank you very much, all of you.
A question coming into the fight was, would moving up 5 pounds in weight in some way diminish your speed? Could you keep your power? By our lights, it appeared you were faster than ever and stronger than ever. Is that the way you felt?
Yeah, that's why what we train in this fight is speed and power, and I'm very comfortable in 135 pounds. I feel strong.
You cut him on the nose in the 2nd round. You got a cut above the eye about a round or 2 after that. From that point forward, it was a bloody show. How difficult is it for you to keep going and keep thrashing an obviously outclassed opponent when you can see how badly hurt he is?
Well, I think Diaz is he's the toughest opponent that I had before, and I'm very surprised that he cut a lot of punches and he didn't knock down in the early round.
We got a videotape look at the knockout. Would you like to admire your work a little bit? Let's take a look at the knockout, and you can take a look at the perfect combination. Tell us what you're doing here. Right jab, left hand.
Yeah, that's what our plans is this fight. The left hand, you know, and then also the right hand. So I'm lucky tonight because I win by knockout. So thanks God for giving me that strength.
It's been a long time since you fought another southpaw, and it looked as though you were more able to use your brilliant right hand, that hook and the uppercut in this fight against the southpaw than even against conventional fighters. Did you know coming in that would be the case?
Well, actually that's what it's hard to fight a southpaw, and that's why I'm not very confident this fight. You know, I'm just at my defense and jab and that. And I'm surprised in the ninth round, and I knocked him out.
So Manny, there's been discussion of a possible third fight at this weight against Juan Manuel Marquez. There's been discussion by your trainer, Freddie Roach, standing right behind you, of maybe going up another 5 pounds and fighting Ricky Hatton. Which fight do you like?
Well, sir, my job is, I'm just a fighter. My job is to prepare in the ring and to fight. That's the promoter job, I'm just a fighter to fight in the ring.
Do you want to fight as soon as November, or do you think it'll be past the end of the year?
Well, I can fight on November, so I'm getting prepared for that.
All right, and are you now the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world?
Well, thank you. Thanks God for giving me the blessings, and to all the people who love boxing to support me. Without you guys, I'm not here. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Manny, and congratulations on a great start in a new weight class. Let's turn now to the extremely brave young man whom Manny vanquished here tonight. A moment of sportsmanship here. David, there was a moment between rounds toward the end of the fight when we heard you say to your trainer, Jim Strickland, I can handle his punches, he's just too fast. Was that basically the story of the fight?
Yeah, he was too fast. Tucker was too fast.
Did you have any idea coming in that he could be that way?
No. I seen him on tape and stuff like that, but I was like, I could do it with that speed, The power is what I wanted to worry about. But it wasn't so much power, it's just that he was so fucking fast, man. Fast.
Amazingly fast.
Fucking amazingly fast. I was like, I thought Freddie was in there fucking hitting me too. So, hey, you know what happens? You go into the fight and you go in and you risk it. But with a guy like this, man, shit, at least I say I fought a good fighter, man. And that's all I want. I want to fight. That's it, man.
You got cut on the nose, I think, in the first round. By the second or third round, the cut above your eye appeared. Obviously, Jimmy was trying to do everything he could to stop the cuts, but the blood kept coming. How much did that bother you during the fight?
No, it didn't bother me at all. I thought he had a knife with him, though. I thought he was cutting me up with a blade. But he was fast. He was faster than what I expected. I could deal with the power, but it's just his speed was more than what I thought it was. And I got tricked by his speed.
All right, Floyd Mayweather has retired. The argument is, who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world now? Is it Pacquiao? Is it Joe Calzaghe? Is it maybe a rising superstar like Miguel Cotto? Off what you saw tonight, is there any real argument about this?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to say, oh, no, he's not. He just beat me, man. So, he's good. He's fucking good. And my hats go off to him. We went in there, and I fought, and I gave him my all. And his speed was just the thing that sealed it for me. His speed was too uncontrollable, And my hat's off to him, and he's a good fighter, and, what else can I say? We lost today, and tomorrow we'll win.
Aside from rooting for the Cubs to win the World Series and all of Chicago's other big possibilities right now, what's in your future?
Well, we're going to go back, relax, get us into a hot shower, and then we'll take it there from there tomorrow and just see what happens. We're going to take a nice little break and just come back at it, man. I'm 32 years old. I'm getting up there, but I started back late. But to go with a guy like Manny Pacquiao, shit, I think I'm doing pretty good.
You heard him chanting, Manny, Manny, Manny. Do you think you got the respect of this crowd tonight?
I hope I did. You know what? Only time will tell. And that's just it. Only time will tell. If they like the way I fight, then fine. If they don't, then that's just it. They don't like the way I fight.
It was a brave show. Thank you very much, David.
Manny Pacquiao is an awesome person.
All right. Emmanuel Stewart, we heard from both fighters. You saw what you saw in the ring. Your final thoughts.
Well, I thought Pacquiao fought a tremendous fight. I predicted that he would incorporate movement tonight because of the style of Diaz, but I didn't think he would be moving and punching and doing such a variety of things. It was a spectacular performance.
And a spectacular debut in the lightweight class for Manny Pacquiao, who now has a title in a 4th weight class in his amazing career, probably the greatest of any Asian fighter in the history of the sport. He makes his statement, a powerfully compelling one, for the status of #1 pound for pound, and looks ahead toward possibly another rematch with Marquez. or even the possible fight with Ricky Hatton, or any of a half-dozen other potential big fights for the man who, with the departure of Mayweather and the potential departure of De La Hoya, looms as the economic bell cow of boxing. The fighter whom everybody anywhere near his weight class is going to want to fight because of the response of crowds like this. Thanks very much for being with us on this special HBO pay-per-view telecast from Las Vegas. Diaz versus Pacquiao has been brought to you by Mandalay Bay, boxing at its best, Tecate Beer, Cerveza with an attitude, and by HBO pay-per-view, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by HBO. We'd also like to thank the following internet partners. And now for our entire crew, I'm Jim Lampley, saying so long from Las Vegas, Nevada.